I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
Well, do you feel like you're paying more at the grocery store? I certainly do, but you might be according to the latest Farm Bureau Market Basket survey.
Folks here in Louisiana and across the country contributed to the survey of the fall staple food items. The American Farm Bureau released the national numbers, and the Louisiana Farm Bureau provided us with the state-specific numbers. As TWILA's Neil Melanson tells us, prices are slightly higher, but food is still a bargain.
These days at Calandro's grocery store and Perkins in Baton Rouge, the meat aisle has to stay packed. It's fall, and that means a lot of food and beverages are being sold for football weekends.
Football season's on, so everything, we're buying a little bit more of everything, from flowers to wine, whiskey, produce, meat, everything is up.
Fall also means a market basket survey of prices. They've bumped up since the last survey, and while it's an informal survey, it does track with the Consumer Price Index nationally. According to the numbers, the overall price this time was $51.13. That's up about 3% from a year ago. Here in Louisiana, our total for the same 16 items surveyed was $53.92. Breaking down those items, the biggest price jump was for bacon, up almost 20% from a year ago. Bacon has quite the life on social media, so it's become a staple in restaurants across the country. Supply is tight right now, while pork production has yet to catch up. At $5.15, Louisiana is a little cheaper than the national average of $5.24. Chicken is also seeing tight supply and demand. At $3.13, it's up 9% here. Louisiana's average is pretty close at $3.15. Orange juice, meanwhile, is seeing a big jump, and while not quite as big as bacon, it is expected to continue to rise. Louisiana's $3.37 is a bit cheaper than the national average of $3.46. All-purpose flour came in at $2.37 for a 5-pound bag. That's up 7%. Here in Louisiana, the price was a bit cheaper at $2.29 for the same item. Vegetable oil up 5% to $2.52, while in Louisiana, we saw a bigger jump at $2.75. Whole milk is up 3% to $2.93 a gallon, while here in Louisiana, it's more than $1 more expensive at $3.97. That's a product of the fact that we have to ship so much in from out of state. Some prices did move lower in the survey. Bag salad is down 16% to $2.41, while it's only $2.10 here in Louisiana. Ground chuck roast is now below $4 a pound nationally. That's down 3%, but Louisiana is still lagging behind at $4.68 a pound. Finally, it seems we're recovered from the bird flu, as egg production is in full swing. Prices are down to $1.44 a dozen nationally, off 3% from a year ago. Here in Louisiana, they're a bit more expensive at $1.88 for that same dozen. Here at Calandro's, by the way, we priced the eggs a little higher, but the cost was still less than half of the so-called cage-free eggs at nearly $5 a dozen. Grocery stores, like farmers, are at the mercy of outside market forces such as the price of oil, as well as disasters such as Hurricane Irma, which devastated the Florida citrus crop, and so those costs are being passed on.
Whenever anything goes up and we get a price increase, we have to move that price increase to the product itself. So, yeah, we're basically at that mercy. Sometimes we'll hold it down. It's according to what it is and how much it is. If we can, we can absorb a few cents, but you can't really keep going up and up.
The next survey will be the big one for Thanksgiving. We should have those results for you in early November. To see the full list from this fall market basket survey, though, you can check it out on our website at twilatv.org. And guys, I talked with Denise Canatella, who is one of the survey participants, who's also a cattle and sugarcane farmer. And one of the things she was concerned about was the way that these prices can affect perception as well. She's very concerned with consumers because she's, of course, a shopper as well as a consumer. But one of the things she said was the labels on packaging, the constant change she sees, especially with the organic and non-GMO labels, is something that's adding to the cost and is far beyond her control at the producer end.
But you know, we talk about the rising cost at the grocery stores. Farmers and ranchers are not seeing more. In fact, they're seeing less right now than in years past.
As you heard in my package, you know, it's the cost is generally around $50. Farmers receive less than 10.
Wow. We need to do something about that. Thank you very much, Neil Melanson. Well, you just saw that we're paying a bit more for beef in Louisiana than the national average, but it is still what's for dinner.
The men and women who raise beef cattle in Louisiana are showing off what they do to grocery store owners and managers in Gonzales, which is why TWILA's Carl Wickers jumped at the chance to cover this story and follow his nose right to the barbecue pit.
Hey guys, I'm here at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center where the Louisiana Beef Industry Council is putting their checkoff dollars to work. They're doing that here at the Associated Grocers Fall Food Expo. They're doing that by grilling up some great steaks. I'm gonna go check it out right now.
125 pounds of beef tenderloin are rotating on this pit. John Thompson is the Louisiana Beef Industry Council board member that is cooking it to perfection.
We're cooking tenderloin butts. We've been cooking these things and we cook them about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And I tell you what, we've got a lot of repeat customers that come through tonight.
Those repeat customers are grocery store owners from across Louisiana. They are the ones that Thompson and the LBIC are here to win over. What makes this possible are the checkoff dollars that Louisiana cattle producers give each year.
We're here promoting our product to say, look, this is a good product, it's raised locally, we want to get more of it in the stores and show people what we can do with it.
Mark Westmolen is the director of meat and seafood with the Associated Grocers. He says it's important to him that their stores support Louisiana products.
We have a big program that we do with the stores called, Buy Fresh, Buy Local.
This program is good news for Louisiana beef producers.
The Beef Council here works great with us. They support all our events and stuff, and we try to promote them as much as we can and support them with our retails. And our retailers want to support Louisiana products.
Westmolen says Associated Grocers is starting to see more interest in Louisiana beef products, specifically with the increased popularity of grass-fed beef in recent years. He says that trend is a good sign for everyone involved, from the farmer all the way to the consumer.
Because that's what our retailers want, and that's what our consumers want in the local area. And, it helps keep money in the state. It supports our local farmers and it supports our local beef cattlemen and supports our economy, which is very important to Associated Grocers.
The Associated Grocers supplies more than 170 stores across the state with their groceries every year. That's why the Louisiana Beef Industry Council wanted to be here in this room to provide all the educational material, all the samples they could to the buyers here in this room. And guys, I can only assume after all the great tasting that's happened over the last couple of days that there will be no shortage of Louisiana beef in the meat cases across the state.
Thanks, Carl. To learn more about the Louisiana Beef Industry Council or to get some tasty recipes, you can visit our website at twilatv.org. Well, you already know if you watch this show regularly that farmers and ranchers are the 2% of the population who feed 100% of us.
Now, a group of growers along the Bayou Teche are coming together to do even more. They want to clean up the state of Louisiana and want your help.
This is the future meeting the past. Little Maverick sits on the back of this old Farmall cub owned by a member of the Teche Growers Association, a group of farmers in Iberia, St. Martin, St. Mary, and Vermilion parishes who want to preserve their past to pass it on to the future. Teche Growers Association President Chris Patu says preserving the land is part of that mission.
Something that affects us and affects everybody is trash. The amount of trash on the side of the roads, and you pull up to a loading site one morning and you got a load of tires and an ice box and people's household trash right there on the loading site in your drainage ditch. So we just decided to try to draw some attention to that, and we're just getting our feet wet, but I think we're headed in the right direction.
The idea to make litter abatement a mission of the Teche growers grew from what these primarily sugarcane growers see every day.
You're in the fields all day. You're not in your office or anywhere. You're in the field, so you're driving around and you actually see it. And then you cut grass on your headlands, and you're hitting bottles and plastic containers, and it gets everywhere. And we put a lot into our land because the land supports us. So we want to be one with nature and try to keep it clean.
This is a picture posted on Facebook by a Teche Growers Association member of what they found in their field.
It ends up a lot of times in our fields and in our ditches, blocking drainage. And when we try and to grow a crop, and somebody comes throw, I don't know, 10 or 12 bags of leaves that they rake up in their yard, bag them up, and go throw them in a drainage ditch, and then we get a 10-inch rain, and all the water brings the bags and stops up the culvert. You know, it affects us, you know, it affects us right then and there.
I look down on people who litter, so I take it personally.
Corporal Cullum Scheck-Snyder with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries points out that littering is against the law. Simple littering, like when trash flies out of a truck bed, has a stiff fine.
Simple littering is a fine of $175 plus up to 8 hours of litter abatement.
When someone throws litter out a car window, even something as small as a cigarette butt, that's intentional littering and carries a fine
from $250 to $500. And it also has 8 hours of litter abatement.
But what these farmers usually find in their fields is what's called gross littering. And like this picture, it is gross, as is the fine.
Anywhere from $500 to $1,000 and up to 8 hours of litter abatement.
Which is why the Tesh Growers Association teamed up with Wildlife and Fisheries along with Iberia Parish government to form a litter abatement task force.
Having these kind of groups and these organizations get involved in litter abatement and different issues is very important, because behind every one of these organizations, like the growers, you have a group of farmers and people that work and that have to live in this community every day. And what you find is that these people are there, they're obviously there to make a living, they're there to teach their children how to make a living, but they also want a very safe and very clean environment, and they're just being farmers. They just work very hard, and these people behind that support, they make good grassroots coalitions, and these are the kind of people that are on the front lines every day working for our state, and they can make a difference in our community.
When you have an association like Tesh Growers Association coming forward to take the lead in something like this here, you have a lot of employees working in that industry, and so you have a lot of people that's listening to what's going on. I think it's a great deal. It's a great opportunity for Iberia Parish to have someone like that association come to us and want to take the lead.
The Tesh Growers Association has its sights set on another big project, and it involves all those old tractors and harvesters you saw in that story. They want to build a special sugarcane museum. We'll do another story about that project in the coming months. If you would like to learn more about the Tesh Growers Association, you can visit our website at twilatv.org. By the way, if you're wondering why all of these farmers and equipment were in Bulleney Plaza in New Iberia at the same time, that's because it was during the 76th annual Sugarcane Festival. Sugarcane farmer and my ag leadership classmate Quade Broussard sent up his drone during the fair at night and shared these awesome pictures. They were too good for me not to put on the show and share with all of you. Quade turned down the opportunity for an interview, but he, Mark Patu, and the group gave me a basket full of goodies, including this awesome Louisiana Sugarcane Festival poster. Once it's framed, it is going up on my wall. Thanks a bunch, guys. So why is the Sugarcane Festival happening at the end of September?
I think I have the answer, but I also have a cheat sheet. It's because farmers just began the 100-day period known as grinding season. In Louisiana, farmers planted about 400,000 acres of sugarcane, an increase of about 15,000 acres according to the USDA.
Hi, my name is Mike Melanson. Today we're cutting sugarcane just south of the town of Henderson in St. Martin Parish. Tomorrow will be a week that we've started. We're about a week earlier than last year. Yields look fairly well. Tonnage is 3 to 4 tons better than the beginning last year. Sugar's a little bit lower, still at a good level, in the 210s, 215 range, which is really acceptable for September. Weather's been nice, it's dry. Probably could use rain soon, but surely not complaining. Harvest is going well. We have soybeans to harvest normally. We're done with that. We're done with our cane planting, so we can concentrate on cane harvest, which is always a good thing. So sugar content gets quite a bit higher as you get into October. And so September's usually a toss-up sometimes what your sugar level is going to be, but it's been pretty good. We have a ripener on it, so it's going well. We started earlier this year mainly because we're expecting a little bit larger volume at our sugar mills. We have some new acres that went in the ground last year. We got planted, so we're expecting a little bit of a bump from that as well. In general, last year's crop tonnage was somewhat disappointing. We went to a pretty severe drought in most of October and into November as well. So the yields kind of diminished after the first week. So even though the first week of this harvest is very comparable to last year, I guess the jury's still out on that because we felt fairly good at this time last year as well. You know, we had issue with the drought. We had issues. I think we had sugarcane flies last year. We had a lot of things that kind of contributed to poor yields. So the crop kind of fell apart. This year's crop looks healthier. Stalk density looks to be quite a bit better. So we're optimistic that we surely have at least an average crop and somewhat better than overall last year. Even though we had good sugar, we need good tonnage as well, and I think we're getting there. And I hope we're always optimistic for this crop.
We'll have more on this year's sugarcane crop as the season continues. To learn more about the sugarcane industry, visit our website at twilatv.org. Well, you have yet another reason to be a Louisiana Farm Bureau member.
I would argue you have 500 to 750 more reasons. Louisiana Farm Bureau members now get $500 bonus cash toward the purchase or lease of an eligible new 2017 or 2018 Ford vehicle. If you're in the market for a luxurious 2017 or 2018 Lincoln, Farm Bureau members get $750 bonus cash to put toward a purchase or lease. Now, there are some restrictions. To get the complete details on this new member benefit, visit lafarmbureau.org and click on the member benefits page. We'll also put a link on our website at twilatv.org. Still to come on TWILA, a deadline is fast approaching for those of you interested in conservation.
But first, from ag economics to researching rice country, the LSU AgCenter has a new Southwest director. Meet him up next.
For a longtime LSU AgCenter professor of ag economics, Dr. Kurt Guidry, his new job as Southwest Director is a homecoming of sorts. For the last 24 years, Guidry has been a fixture at the LSU AgCenter, from county agent to endowed professor.
Now Guidry will return to the area where he grew up to take the reins from retiring director Steve Linscomb. TWILA's AJ Sabine sat down with Guidry to get his thoughts on the future.
With the click-clack of the keyboard, Professor Kurt Guidry gets closer to a brand new hometown gig. Southwest Regional Director of the LSU AgCenter.
Feels good. Feels good. I'm excited about the potential to work with a really good group of extension faculty and research faculty at the station.
Guidry grew up about 14 miles from the H. Rouse Caffey Rice Research Station in Crowley. Guidry explains this new role is extremely important to him.
I just want to be a part of being able to continue to support those industries, support the development of our youth through 4-H programs, and improve the lives and the well-being of our citizens through our FCS programs. I just think that all those things together is very, very attractive to me.
Guidry's roots are in rice. The grandson of a rice farmer, Guidry says he has a lot of appreciation for the world-renowned work of the Rice Research Station and its leader for the past 35 years, Dr. Steve Linscomb.
Grew up in the industry, understand the importance again of the industry, and that's being able to work with a really good group of people, both our extension faculty and our research faculty, I think was something that really attracted me to this position.
Following the path of the inimitable Steve Linscomb won't be easy. However, Guidry says he's humbled and honored to pick up the mantle of Salesman-in-Chief of the H. Rouse Caffey Rice Research Station.
I think another component of this regional director job is kind of a marketing job, if you will. Is to make sure that people know the good work that's being done, both at the station and in the region, and to kind of be a face for the region, if you will, in terms of making sure everyone, whether it be general public, whether it be local government, whether it be state government, whether it be federal government, in terms of what are we doing, what issues are we addressing, what impacts we're making, both from the regional standpoint, from our extension programs, as well as our experiment stations.
With the change in leadership, you can bet the best change is yet to come in the Southwest region. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm AJ Sabine.
Guidry says he intends to take a more active role in working with the Louisiana legislature to secure more funding for the Rice Research Station, as well as for higher education as a whole. Well, do you own some land that you want to make some improvements on, or maybe you just need some help to make your farm or ranch more efficient?
If so, you have less than a month to apply for financial help from the Natural Resources Conservation Service. And by financial help, I mean money to help you pay for those improvements. Sarah Trishell with NRCS says the deadline to apply for programs is October 20th, and that's for more than just the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, better known as EQIP.
each parish has an EQIP allocation for general conservation practices, but then we have a whole nother dedicated money that comes to us that we actually dedicate to special initiatives. So we have for participants who are interested in improving wildlife habitat, who have dairy animals, so we have these dairy concerns, longleaf areas to improve that declining ecosystem for longleaf. There's a ton of different initiatives out there. So no matter where anyone is in Louisiana, we have a special initiative and we have special opportunity for funding.
We'll tell you more about what NRCS can do for you next week. To learn more about the NRCS or how to apply, either visit a local field office or visit our website at twilatv.org.
Still to come on TWILA, when it snows in Louisiana, it's never cold. Stay with us.
In this week's Trending on TWILA, we continue our TWILA Harvest series with lots of great photos and videos that you shared with us on social media.
And last week we asked for lots of cotton harvest posts, and you guys certainly delivered.
On Facebook, Jeff Gagel kicks off the 2017 cotton harvest in Concordia Parish under blue skies. In the same area, William Brown posted this photo of a trailer full of soybeans waiting on trucks.
Ryan Wilkerson shared some beautiful photos and drone video from his cotton harvest in Rayville, Louisiana. Thanks for sharing all of this great footage with us, Ryan.
Bridget Stagg also sent us this photo as her family finished their soybean harvest in St. Landry Parish. Richland State Bank shared a few photos from one of their customers' cotton harvest in Oak Grove, saying they're proud to serve our farmers since 1902.
Alex Barham posted these adorable photos of her daughter in the cotton field with the caption, "Proud of Daddy's Cotton."
Lily Adams Wiley also took her children to a nearby cotton field and posted these photos on Facebook, saying, "Annual cotton picks with a discussion of thankfulness and realization of where our clothes come from." Great post, Lily.
Our final TWILA Harvest post comes from Adam Colhern, who shares a pretty insightful message with his post. He says it doesn't matter what crop you harvest or whether you harvest a crop at all. We were all put on this earth for a reason, and we all have a job to do. I, for one, am glad to be able to live and work in this great nation. If you're taking a knee today, just remember that millions of people of all races have died to give you the freedoms that you enjoy today. If you are standing in the aisles of your local Hobby Lobby complaining about home decor, please be aware that there are people of all races working the fields to harvest a product that puts clothes on your back. We're all in this fight together. And I think that was a great way to sum up everything that's going on right now on social media. There's so much divisiveness and there's so much negativity, and I thought that was just a good way to kind of sum all that up.
And I think it's great that we're hearing this from farmers, because everyone comes together where? At the table. We all come together for a great meal, and it's the farmers and ranchers of this great country we need to thank and be thankful for to bring us together like that.
And it's good because all farmers are working towards the same goal right now. You know, regardless of race or political beliefs, everybody's trying to put food on all of our tables.
Absolutely. Now it's time for this week's TWILA Trivia. Last week our question was, which state does not produce a cotton crop? And the correct answer is C, West Virginia. This week our trivia question is, the average American owns about how many pairs of blue jeans? Is it A, 7, B, 15, or C, 40? To enter this week's trending trivia contest, simply log on to your Facebook or Twitter account and post your answer with the hashtag TWILA Trivia, or you can always submit your answer on our website at twilatv.org. 40? Really? 40? My closet can't hold that.
I was going to say, I'm guessing yours is not that much?
No, I'm lucky if I have like 4 that survive, because every year I put a hole in them one way or another. I'm the biggest klutz on the planet, so that's why.
I'll probably have 40 and maybe wear 1. Well, that does it for this edition of TWILA. Be sure to join us next week when we show you how the Louisiana rice industry is helping feed the hungry.
Until then, you can watch all of our stories online at twilatv.org, and be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and we're also posting a bunch of little extras here and there, so you'll want to catch all of those.
For all of us here at TWILA, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.